Sadiq, the mayor of London, blames structural racism for disproportionate amounts of Cooof-related deaths amongst minority groups. Now, this is the same mayor that said that terrorist attacks are part and parcel of living in, I forgot what he called it, Western countries or a heavily populated city. But anyway, this guy is known leftist jerk who invokes identity politics every time he can to benefit his agenda. So before we begin today's video, guys, make sure to drop a like on this video, maybe share it around. It helps a lot in terms of ranking, search and discovery, as well as don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of the future videos. Let's read on. London Mayor Sadiq has called on the government to start collecting and publishing the ethnicities of those infected with the Cooof, claiming that structural racism in Britain has led to more racial minorities dying from the illness. Obviously, I'm saying Cooof because you can't say the other word on YouTube and still stay monetized or even appear in search results because they're censoring everything related to this topic that isn't from not a reputable source, but rather an acknowledged authority by YouTube. So yeah, I'm gonna say Cooof every time the other words you can say appears on this article. So yeah, basically he wants them to start gathering data of the ethnicities who's dying from the disease, which is a stupid thing considering that the UK has the NHS, which is a nationalized healthcare program. Basically the government covers everything or most of it, subsidizes it, so everybody has healthcare in the UK. So I don't know why it would be structural racism that would cause those ethnicities to die disproportionately compared to the regular white male and females. So this is a weird argument to make, and it doesn't stand true, especially in the UK. Maybe you can make it in the US because you don't have Medicare for all or a form of healthcare for everybody, no matter if you're poor or rich. But basically, not only is this a stupid argument, I have a better argument to make, that the fact that minorities are disproportionately represented in the Cooof cases is because some of them, you can't say which ethnicity is it, but some of them refuse to stay locked down at home because they go to their place of worship and prayer every day and don't keep the social distancing rules. Sorry, I'm scrambling right now because my neighbors are making a ton of noise and it screws in my brain, but we'll soldier on. So let's say the story. The mayor said that the idea that Cooof-19 is great leveler is a complete myth. He claimed that racial inequality was the reason why people of black, Asian and minority ethnic, BAME, which is a new term to me, I follow SJWs religiously and this is a new term even for me. I didn't know BAME was a thing. Backgrounds have been overrepresented in the pandemic. Even though it can be uncomfortable for some to acknowledge, we cannot ignore the barriers of discrimination and structural racism that exist in our society, which contribute to ethnic minorities being more likely to suffer from poverty. Again, the poverty argument doesn't stick when you have healthcare for everybody in your country. I'm not too familiar with the UK system, but as far as I know, everybody gets it and the government subsidizes it. So I don't know what it has to do with people dying from it. Have underlying health conditions and work in insecure, low-paid jobs. Khan wrote in British left-wing newspaper The Guardian. Khan said that because, quote, people from ethnic minority backgrounds are overrepresented in poor, overcrowded accommodation or households with multiple generations under one roof, they are more likely to become infected with the virus. Decent argument to make, I guess, but why several generations are living in the same houses? Why couldn't they just move to cheaper areas where rent is lower and just live on their own? Again, this argument doesn't really stick. It's a better one than the previous one they made, but still you have white people as well who would probably live in the same crowded conditions because they are poor. Such social economic standing rarely has anything to do with your ethnicity, especially in 2020 and in the UK, which is a very post-racial society. It's not a very racialized society. Many simply don't have the luxury of being able to work safely from home during lockdown. All of this contributes to a BAME population. Again, I'm trying to get used to this term, it's new to me. With worse health than average, lower life expectancy, and a greater prevalence of serious underlying health conditions, such as heart disease, asthma, and diabetes, he added. Khan demanded that the government start publishing the ethnicities of those who have been infected with the coronavirus immediately. Now, I don't know why would you want it unless he wants to spin it for himself, proving that minorities do suffer more from the Cooof epidemic, because then he can go and make all those identity politics arguments he loves to make. Because some minorities again refuse to stay at home and adhere to the lockdown rules because they go to their place of worship. Sorry. So yeah, let's move on. Where were we? The government is committed to releasing the demographic figures, but Khan said promises to provide this data in the future is not good enough. We need to be collected and publish. We need it to be collected and published. Sorry, right now. There simply is no good reason to wait. The London mayor also called for a new social contract after the has passed. Okay, I read it now. Whatever, let's keep reading it. In order to reduce racial and economic equality and prioritizes the welfare and well-being of every single community in this country. Okay, so it goes on to make more and more stupid eat poll related arguments. I don't know, guys, what do you think? I'm not gonna read the entire article. It pretty much repeats himself, and it's obvious what he's trying to do. I hate Sadiq Khan. It's the same guy who said living in a large Western. I forgot the exact quote, but basically said the terrorist attacks are part and parcel of living in a large city like London, excusing many of the same minorities he's trying to defend committing those terrorist attacks. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Leave your opinions in the comments. As always, if you haven't already, drop a like on this video. It is greatly appreciated and it always helps the channel out. If you want to support this channel, we have a subscribe star, channel memberships, as well as Patreon page. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.